Good morning, Francis Schaefer, Precision Soil Management, Redfield. What I'm going to discuss this morning is the methodology Jim Miller has developed to delineate soil management zones. Now, what we always look at is imagery, whether it be aerial photography, satellite imagery, occasionally a yield map. So what we look for is we look for images that have tones on them and tone differences and that sort of thing. The second thing we look for is if there's another image that kind of repeats or mimics another. Because what that'll tell us is that those are signature images and that we can use them in order to go into the field to delineate the soil. Now he goes into the field with all this imagery. He will go to an area. Let's say he goes to where my cursor is right there. Pulls the soil core and looks at it. And so he travels across the field, pulling soil cores in different areas to determine, okay, what is this signature of this growing crop telling me during that growing season? And he will go across the field and delineate the different soils in the field. When he gets done, what he's got is an incredibly detailed soil map. So I'm just going to overlay and outline one, and you'll see the different numbers. They mean something to us. We have a detailed description in our soil zone description book of what each of these soils is. Zone 11, 20, 6, 1, 12. There's 5 soils in this field. We also have a standard coloring scheme of those soils, and this is what it is. Dark green is really good. Aquamarine, these are 6s. They can be challenged by wetness in the spring. So what he does once he has developed or delineated what the soils are and where they're at, he will go pull soil cores to send off for analysis. So let's look at this dark green one. That's the soil point number 1, number 8, 13, 17, 21. When those soil cores are pulled, they are divided into 2 sets of samples. The 0 to 6 are topsoil, and the 6 to 24 are the subsoil, sent off for analysis. So in this field, there are 5 soils. We'll send 5 samples off for analysis. When we get that information back, we use that to establish, we use the soil and the analysis to establish a yield goal for that soil. Yield goal always drives 2 primary crop inputs. The amount of seed that that soil can handle to achieve that yield goal, and the fertility, not only the amount of fertilizer, but also the types of fertilizer that that soil is going to need to achieve that. Once we establish those things and delineate the fertilizers needed and the amount of seed, we'll write prescriptions for fertilizer and for seed. This all goes into our spreadsheet for each field. Not only do we write the prescriptions from that information for seeding and fertilizer, we also track the cost of production for the customer on that field. We also are developing a system of cost of production summary for your crop, for corn, for soybeans, for spring wheat, for winter wheat, for sunflowers, whatever crop we are helping you manage. To summarize, precision soil management uses imagery and an expert in soil to create or delineate a detailed soil map. We pull samples for analysis so that we can write accurate seeding and fertilizing prescriptions for the yield goal for each zone. We also track cost of production, and When Jim Miller leaves the field, he knows the limiting factor for crop production of each of these soils. This is Francis Schaefer, Precision Soil Management. Thanks for listening.